Do you have projects you just can't seem to finish? Do you lack motivation? Do you miss your crochet group and the inspiration they bring to the project? Well, come crochet with me and we'll make beautiful projects together. Welcome to New Crochet, where we focus on completing projects and drawing inspiration from others, seasons, and fashions.
Okay, we're gonna start putting these pieces together. And you need to be careful about the front and the back. So you're going to put, like in sewing, the pretty sides together. Make sure that you put those together like that. And then you're going to keep that extra. You can go ahead and weave it in if you want. But we're going to sew these two together like this, pretty sides together. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your tapestry needle and just get a little piece of yarn on that. And what I like to do is this stitch where you go underneath the yarn and you lock it. So it goes in like this, and then you skip this one and go underneath the next one and go back. We're going to this corner right here. So I'm gonna skip that, but just come up underneath the one below that. And then when you pull, don't yank on it, but just pull that a little bit and you'll see that it's locked. That stitch is locked. All right, and what we're doing is, you remember our corners where we double crocheted 3? We're going into that center double crochet on both sides. So we're gonna start here, just on that top loop. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just going in through that loop only, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So this center one here, and I'm just going in this top loop, and then you pull, not too tight, but you want to make sure that it catches. And I like to double that, make sure that is connected really good. And then you're going to do the same all the way down. So you're going to go under that top loop on both sides, and you just keep doing that all the way down. And if you see on here, you'll just keep doing that and sewing them together all the way across for 4 on each row. And then you're going to do 4 rows. So I've only done 3 so far. And one thing I did when I went back is, like, my corners, let's see, my corners right here, they seem to be a little holy. So I just went back, flipped it over, went back and did like an X stitch, and kind of like pulled that together so it didn't have a big gaping hole. But I'm sure if you're a seasoned crocheter, you know how to correct that. And the last thing that I'm gonna do is put an edging on here. So I'm gonna connect all this and probably do a half double crochet in these little dips so it ends up even, but I'll show you that in a minute. When we get to this last one, you should be just on that row. We're just doing that row. You should end up in the same middle double crochet and then I like to go and double that one. And then you just weave in your ends, you know, you go back in. I like to go where there's like a whole bunch right here where it hides that, and then I like to lock it like when you're sewing. Like skip this first yarn and then just go under the rest of them, pull that up, and that's what I call locked. You lock the stitch. Okay, now I've sewed this whole row together, and you see what I mean about it just kind of raises that stitch up on the edge and makes it pop. I like the way that looks. But we've got 4, and I did alternating colors on mine. And then we're gonna take this and sew it to this. Remember, we're gonna put our pretty sides together. Now I don't want green on green, I wanna do it opposite. So I'm gonna turn this around with our pretty sides together. And then I'm gonna sew it across like this in the same fashion that we did before, sewing it together. Now you want to get a longer piece of thread. You don't have to get it as long as mine, but I was just using the leftover from the skein. So all right, and I want to start this way and do that lock. Get this just underneath like that, so to hide that thread. And then we're gonna skip this one and go underneath the next one, and that locks it. I want to come up over here. I want to be in the middle of that corner. Okay, and see how that locks. I don't want to pull it too tight. Keep that looking nice and pretty. All right, and so the middle of our corner, remember we're going to start on that top loop. And then we're going to put together, let me find my corner, here it is, the top loop right here. And we're just going to whip that around like we did before. Line up your edges and just go through those top loops. And see how it makes that whip stitch all the way across. And when you get to your corners, what I like to do, I'm gonna go in through this one, but then I'm gonna go from here to here, and then I'm gonna go from here to here and kind of pull that up so it doesn't have that hole there. Now, I've seen some people leave a hole there and then go back around on the pretty side, and they'll crochet a single crochet all the way around. And one time I saw them do that with a slip stitch on top of that, and it looked really nice. So if you want to try that, or you want to do it like I do, however you want to do it, but be creative with, you know, what you do. Make it your own style, and have fun with it. Okay, we're here at that corner, and I just wanted to show you what I was doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and go under like we would normally do. Now I'm gonna go from this white one to this white one, like an X. I'm gonna make here, and then go from this green one to this green one. And then pull that kind of tight a little bit. And then go back as I would normally do. And get those two. And then just move on to the next. Also, I wanted to show you, if you end up going to where, you see that little knot right there, that's where I tied off. And I've already weaved in the ends. If you get to that point, you're still gonna go into the top stitch of that. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew you keep going with that as normal. And it'll be all right. Oops. When it's long like that, it gets tangled. All right. Do the next one right there. And see how that looks? You just keep going across like that, and keep doing it in that top stitch. Okay, before we start our edging, make sure you go and weave in those ends. And I do it just like I did before with the lock stitch. And make sure you don't pull it too tight, because we don't want any puckers, that puckered look. All right, I'm gonna skip that stitch and then go under these. Yeah, so don't yank on that end right there. And just snip it off. There you go. All right, last time we used a 5. This time, can you see that? No, it's focusing in. I'm using a 4 just for the edge. Now I like to start in the corner, and I'm probably gonna start on a green corner. And that will help hide any flaws, which it's okay. All right, I'll start on the corner with that double crochet right there, and I'm going to slip stitch. And I'm going to hold my end on the back side of it and work a chain 1, and then I'm going to go back into that same stitch and single crochet, and then I'm going to work over this yarn and single crochet all the way around. If you want to, you can work in this back loop and then have that same line show up. I'm sure that will be really pretty. I might go back and do that. I don't know. I'll just leave it like this for now. Okay, we're at this next edge again, and I just wanted to go over that one more time for you. So what we're going to do is half double crochet, then we're going to yarn over, go into the white side, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, go into the green side, yarn over and pull through 2. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and yarn over. We're going to do half double crochet, and I don't know if you can see at this point. Oops, we're single crochet in here. Let me get a few more in here and we can see how that looks. See, it's still got a little bit of a gap, but when we go back and do our edge, our last row, then it'll look better. Just that if I did not do that, there would be a gap there. So we needed to do that decrease and weave in both of those sides so there would be no gap. We're here at the corner and we're going to work 3 single crochets in this corner. And make sure you do that when you get to each corner. And just keep single crocheting all the way around. Alright, so we're at this corner. We're going to chain 1 and then go back in single crochet in that same stitch. We're going to do 3 single crochets in this corner, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. All right, Now we're going to skip 2 stitches and we're going to work 5 double crochets in this next stitch. Alright, and then we're going to skip these next 2 stitches and we're going to single crochet in the next one, and we have our scallop. So if you get to a corner and you're at a scallop, we skip 2 stitches, we work 5 single crochets, and then we skip 2 and single crochet, and you're just going to keep working that with the skip 2, 5, skip 2, single, until you get all the way back around to the beginning and just slip stitch back into that single crochet. That first single crochet, fasten off and tie in your ends, weave in your ends, and let's see how it looks whenever we get done. In each corner, I put 7 double crochets. Join me next time as we experiment crochet with wire.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's cozy crochet session. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button and ring the bell so you never miss a stitch. Share your beautiful creations with us in the comments below. Keep those hooks moving, and until next time, happy crocheting.